Section 5. Criminal Syndicates, Protecting Arizona from Deed Fraud. Who is really behind deed fraud? At this point in the course, you understand how deeds are created and how they are recorded. Now we take the next step, understanding the people behind the fraud. Deed fraud is rarely sluche or opportunistic. In most cases, it is calculated, organized, and executed by criminal syndicates that operate with the precision of a business. These groups are not guessing their way through transactions. They study the real estate process, understand documentation requirements, and exploit the exact systems you use every day. This is the reality you must accept as a professional. You are not just dealing with buyers and sellers, you are potentially dealing with trained criminals who understand your workflow. How criminal syndicates are structured. Criminal syndicates function like a team, with each member assigned a specific role to ensure the fraud is successful. At the core of the operation are organizers who plan the scheme and identify target properties, often focusing on vacant land, investment properties, or homes owned by out-of-state individuals. These properties are less likely to be monitored closely, giving criminals time to execute their plan. Once a target is identified, identity thieves step in. These individuals obtain personal information through data breaches, phishing, or social engineering. They use this information to impersonate the property owner, often contacting agents, title companies, or lenders as if they are legitimate parties to the transaction. At the same time, document forgers create fake deeds, identification documents, and supporting paperwork. These documents are not sloppy. They are designed to mirror legitimate forms, complete with realistic formatting, signatures, and even forged notary acknowledgments. Data manipulators may then access or exploit public records, ensuring that the fraudulent transaction appears consistent with existing ownership information. The final step often involves coordinators who oversee the process, ensuring timing aligns so the fraudulent deed is recorded before anyone detects the issue. Each role is deliberate. Each step is calculated. The level of knowledge these groups possess. One of the most dangerous aspects of criminal syndicates is their deep understanding of real estate transactions. They know what documents are required, how they should look, and where professionals tend to move quickly without verification. They understand the roles of escrow officers, title companies, and agents. They know how to exploit gaps in communication and rely on urgency to push transactions through. Real-world example. A syndicate targets an out-of-state property owner. Using stolen identity information, they contact a listing agent requesting a quick cash sale. They provide what appears to be valid identification, sign documents electronically, and insist on a fast closing. The transaction moves forward, and by the time the true owner is aware, the property has already been sold and recorded. This is not uncommon. It is a pattern. The role of insiders in deed fraud. Not all threats come from outside the industry. Some of the most damaging fraud schemes involve insiders. These may include real estate agents, mortgage brokers, attorneys, or title company employees who have access to sensitive information and systems. Their knowledge allows them to bypass safeguards, ignore discrepancies, or even actively participate in fraudulent transactions. An agent, for example, might knowingly proceed with a suspicious transaction because it appears profitable. A title employee might overlook inconsistencies in documentation. A mortgage broker might falsify borrower information to secure financing tied to a fraudulent transfer. This is where risk becomes personal. Fraud is no longer just something happening around you. It is something that can involve people within your professional environment. Identity thieves, the face of the operation. Identity thieves are often the visible part of the fraud, acting as the face of the transaction. They use stolen personal information to convincingly impersonate property owners. This includes creating fake driver's licenses, utility bills, and other identification documents that match the victim's identity. They may communicate directly with agents, respond to emails, sign documents, and even participate in phone calls, all while maintaining the illusion of legitimacy. Key insight. If you are not verifying identity beyond surface-level documentation, you are relying on the same illusion they are creating. Accomplices, the support system that makes it work. Behind every successful fraud scheme is a network of accomplices who help create the appearance of a legitimate transaction. These individuals may act as straw buyers, posing as legitimate purchasers while actually working with the fraudster. Others may provide fake notary services, validating forged signatures, and giving documents the appearance of authenticity. Document manipulators may alter contracts, create fake purchase agreements, or fabricate financial documents to support the transaction. Each layer adds credibility, making it more difficult to detect the fraud. The more layers involved, the more convincing the transaction becomes. Family members and caretakers. The hidden risk. Some of the most difficult fraud cases involve individuals who are trusted by the property owner. Family members, relatives, or caretakers may have access to personal information, legal documents, or even power of attorney. While these roles are meant to protect the owner, they can also be abused. A caregiver, for example, may use power of attorney to transfer ownership without the owner's knowledge. A family member may forge signatures or manipulate documents to claim ownership of a property. These cases are particularly dangerous because they bypass normal skepticism. The bigger picture, how it all comes together. When you step back, you can see how these roles connect into a single, coordinated system. A syndicate identifies the target. An identity thief becomes the owner. A document forger creates the paperwork. An accomplice supports the transaction. An insider may help move it through the system. The deed is recorded, and the fraud is complete. This is not chaos. This is coordination. And where does that leave you? Right in the middle of the transaction, where your ability to recognize patterns, question inconsistencies, and verify information can stop the entire scheme. Online discussion. Question 1. Why are criminal syndicates more effective than individual fraudsters? Answer. Because they operate as coordinated groups with specialized roles, allowing them to execute complex and convincing fraud schemes. Question 2. What makes insider involvement especially dangerous in deed fraud? Answer. Because insiders have access to systems, information, and processes that allow them to bypass safeguards or conceal irregularities. Question 3. Why are identity thieves critical to the success of these schemes? Answer. Because they create the illusion of legitimacy by impersonating property owners using stolen personal information.